Hey traders, what's going on? It is Monday, August 3rd, and today I actually wanted to give you guys a different type of video, different style of video. Today I wanted to dive in on what it's like making intraday trades as a scalper, and kind of the trades that you could be taking. So right now the market is open, that's why you're seeing this candle fluctuate here. This is Apple, right? And let me just dive right in. So basically what I wanted to show you guys quickly before I showed you what it's like being a scalper, sorry, is that right? So on Apple, we had earnings right here, if you on the 30th, right? And since then we gapped up, created this large gap here, which is indicated by this purple box, right? And then we held that gap, and we actually gapped up once again over the weekend, and now today is Monday. So yeah, we gapped up, made a new all-time high up here at 446, and we have pulled back a little bit, making a so far as a hammer candle, and we do have this gap below here, right? So let me show you guys what I really wanted to show you guys in this video here. Okay, so and one thing to know right away is that all these pink arrows or purple arrows you're going to be seeing, that's just an indicator that I had coded, and it basically just tells me any candles where there are inside and ups, right? It plots it for me and just gives me a good indication, as you can see, right? It's all over the chart. But I guess I can explain what an inside and up is as well. So basically an inside and up, let me show you yesterday. Here, what's a good example here? Somewhere here. Okay, so, or inside and down as well, sorry. Okay, so right here is a good example, right? So we have price pushes up, right? So let me show you. Price pushes up with this green candle, right? Now this is the body of the candle, right? The next candle is, for me, it doesn't matter so much about where the wick ends up. It's just about where the body of the candle closes, right? So the body of the candle on this one closed within this range here, right? As you can see, that is the body of the second candle there, which was inside the body of this first candle right here, right? Then the second candle pushed up and closed above both of these candles. For me, that is an inside and up, and that is when my indicator triggers, just to point it out to me that that is a potential entry. I don't enter off of all of these or anything like that. Honestly, I don't even use it that much, but it's something that, because the reason why I don't use it so much is simply because I already have it in my head. This was something that helped me when I was learning about them. But yeah, basically, it plots it for you, and then if you did take this trade, you would take it probably around here at the close, or you could even take it at this point here as it breaks above, speculating that it will close above, and then yeah, you take it there and you hold it. It never went against you, so let's say this becomes your stop, right? Your stop is down here, right? It doesn't go against you, and then you capitalize on this whole move right here, right? And then again, it fired again right here. So you would get in on this candle here, and again, it pushes up, and you can close your position anywhere here. Or if you didn't, you held on, it still went up further and further, right? So that's just an example of how you can use it, okay? Now what the purpose of this video is, I wanted to show you guys, is that how you could trade today's price action for Apple, right? So what I was trying to show earlier was that Apple had earnings, right, a few days back, and since then we gapped up, right? Pulled back a little bit, just so we made this big box here, which is the gap zone, right? And we held, as you can see here, we held overnight, we held the gap up with strength, right? So let's say sellers came in here and started trying to push it down at this point in pre-market and after hours, right? Buyers stepped in here, right, and held it up, right? And that just shows that there's still strength in this move, right? And as you can see, strength carried up, right? And once again, right, this is Friday. This day here was Friday, right? And so this is Monday today. So once again, overnight and in pre-market, we once again held this strong push up, right? What does that indicate to you? Well, you should actually be capitalizing on stuff like this, right? So when you see in pre-market and after hours, price is pushed up and it's holding in pre-market and after hours, right? right? You can anticipate that we're going to have a push higher. Um, Whereas if price actually was pushed up here and then pulled back a little bit here, you know, then you might be thinking, okay, maybe we'll see some kind of further continuation before we see a push up, or you know, something like that. But let me dive in a little better so you can really see it here. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart for Apple, right? And what you want to just take note of here is that I always talk about this taking trades out of the pre-market high, right? Which would have been this. Okay, well, this to be exact, this level up here, right? So pre-market high, and then so price opens up, pushes down here into our box here, which again is our gap, right? And then we push back up, and you can see here, right? We had strong volume, right? And you don't really need to compare it to the first candle because it's always going to have higher volume pretty much, but price pushes straight up, and with the momentum that was already in pre-market that I showed you before, you know how we held overnight and maintained our strength, right? You can expect that to continue. So that's exactly what happens. And this is where you take this trade right up here, right? Take this trade right here, right? As it pushes through the pre-market high, and you could just be holding, 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 right? Let's say you held, because at this point here, you have no reason to sell on this candle, right? The next candle comes by, so you have no reason to sell once this is your entry. You have no reason to sell on the first candle, right? It pulls back and you wait for it to close. This is the importance of waiting for it to close, waiting for the candles to close. So as you can see here, right, once price opened up on this candle here, it pulled back. You would have been scared. You would have been thinking, oh my God, it's going to go against me. I need to liquidate my position. But what happens is you wait for the close. It pushed up again, right? Then this candle here was an inside candle. You don't need to sell. But for me, if I was in this position, right, I didn't trade today, but if I was in this position, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm going to sell some right here just because it's the first red candle since my push up. That's how I look at it. And that's something that you guys could actually really take and apply to your trading, is selling on the first red candle and waiting for things to close. I promise you, you will start making more green trades that way, right? Just because of how trading works, right? It's very emotional, it's very psychological. So you're always going to be thinking, oh, maybe I need to cut my loss here and stuff like that. But if you wait for the candle to close, oftentimes you'll actually save some money. And the one thing I want also for you to understand is that you don't know what's going to happen next, right? And a lot of people think they do, but that's the problem, is that you really don't know what's going to happen next. So why are you going to, liquidate your position when the price hasn't gone against you? And that's something I used to do a lot, right? So anyways, it's an inside candle like I was just explaining. That's why this purple arrow is formed here, and we push up. Again, you could even add to your position. That's for more advanced trading though. You could add to your position here as it pushes up, or even here as it closed up here with the inside and up, with this strength and the volume all in confluence pushing this up and just creating this bias, um, long bias for you. And it's not something that's going against you, right? So I push up here now, right? And then, once you see these candles here, you might want to sell some more of your position or liquidate, right? The thing is, when it comes to scalping, you don't need to catch the whole move all the way up, right? The point of scalping is to get in with large size, right? Depending on what your account size is at. But the point is to get in with large size and large risk. But that's what it is. It's for that large risk for that large reward, right? So in this case, once again, your entry's down here. Selling most up here is what I'd be doing. Then once we pushed up here, I'm seeing this. Because look, why are you selling here and here, right? You don't need to. There's no reason to, right? But here, this is where some indecision starts to form. That's where you sell, right? Sorry, I keep deleting the entry point down here, right? And yeah, so it's taking some off here, probably taking the rest off, or maybe leaving one contract on, for example, at this point, just to see what happens. Pushes up here like this, and you can liquidate, or you can just keep holding, right? But or see, something else you could do is you could liquidate everything, like here or even up here, and then this could also be an area where you develop a new trade, a new long bias, right? Because what happens is, what you want to see, and this is So pretty much you can think of this like the pre-market and after hours trading where it pushed up with strength, right? And kind of held its gains, right? It's a little harder to see just because it's the 1 minute, but you can think of it like that. It's holding its gains, pushes up again, and this is where you get long, or even on this candle up here. All right, and yeah, it's a new trade, right? You can, when you're scalping, you can just get in and out consistently, right? You don't have to just hold on to one trade the whole night, right? You can, or the whole day. You can just get in and out whenever you want, right? So, yeah, that's one way you could have traded Apple, right? Another thing that you could have done here with Apple is when you see these tight wedges like this forming, right? What this really is a form of squeeze, right? So what happens is we have this broad area here where price can go in between up and down, and then it narrows and narrows and narrows and narrows until it comes into this point right here where it's so tight in there, price is either going to explode to one side or the other, right? In this case, price exploded to the upside, right? And you could have capitalized on this, right? So you just have to mark these things up, right? And just capitalize on what happens here and something you can do. So if you look all the way down here, right, and you look down at the volume, that is a good indication that price. So when price pushes up like that, here, let me show you. So you can see on this candle here, right, where the volume is, it's a little small, sorry about that, but you can see the volume there. And actually, let me do something. Okay, so I just made that a little better for you to see, but um, basically you can see down here now that the volume for this first candle here is when um, price started to push back up, right, to the top of this wedge here. And then this candle here is where volume really picked up. And once you see volume picks up like that, that could be your entry. That could be a trigger for you to enter in, right? And so you get in somewhere here and it pushes up, pushes up, pushes up, and you pretty much banked from, let's say this 443 level, let's say, all the way up to 446, $3 in 2 minutes, right? And on Apple today, the premiums were moving with strength and conviction, so you could have made a lot of money, right? So that's just what I wanted to show you guys for today is the opportunities that are there, um, and how you can capitalize on these things, right? So that's going to be all for today's video. I just wanted to quickly come on here and show you a little quick um, scalper's guide sort of thing and what you could be looking for if you want to be a scalper. Um, but yeah, I'm going to bring some more videos like this on a daily basis. If you want to see what a swinger should be doing or what a day trader might do, again, leave comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you're staying green. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.